The incel community is often related to violence and suicide, but is that justified? Let's find out together. We will start with some background information. Incel stands for involuntary celibate, and Oxford Languages defines an incel as a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and men who are sexually active. In short, the incel community consists of young men that have hostile views towards women and men that have sex. Incels communicate mostly in various forms. This violent and radicalizing discourse is linked to extremist right-wing content and led to communities being banned on various websites. This move came because of global attention that the incel community got after various killings, especially Elliot Rogers, which murder of 6 people and injuring of 40 more before committing suicide, gained a lot of attention. His motive was to punish women for rejecting him and sexually active men because he envied them. This has been labeled as misogynist terrorism by the International Center for Counterterrorism at The Hague. You can find out more about this case on our Tumblr, which is linked in the description below. Let us take a break and look at something more positive. There are numerous people that have experience with leaving the community. Some of those come together at the subreddit called Incel Exit, where perspectives are changed and different messages are spread. The top message on this subreddit is from somebody that describes his experience as, "I guess I am not as bad as I think I am." It starts with how the user started in the incel community by agreeing to some of the fundamentals of the community. After that, he gets stuck in the incel rabbit hole. Others describe their experiences on how to get better at dating or how they got away from the negative mindset of the incel community. They talk about how being a virgin is part of the issue, but that their perception of themselves also becomes a scapegoat for other problems in their lives. They link, for example, their own body, deviating in height, weight and other factors, with problems like having no friends, spending too much time on the internet, or their unhealthy lifestyles. Many describe that they have been sucked into the incel community gradually, and that it led to situations where their views on women changed as well. Seeing that some incels have changed their life for the better again might show that the incel ideology might not be as extremist as we think. A lot of the content in incel communities can be seen as irony and trolling, but it's difficult to separate this from people that really mean it. Quite some in the community say provocative things just because they can on anonymous platforms, and also because they see others post the same. It's easier to blame women than themselves. Many posts are made to glorify the violence and misogynistic acts. These forums are echo chambers where views become more and more radical. It often does not start with a hate towards women and the general society, but it really can turn into that. Some incels have come forward to talk about their situations. There you hear that they have become desensitized to the way they talk and see it all as satire. They see it as uncommon that incels actually attack people, and if it does, it's mostly done as an outburst of anger and not really planned. Something that they are scared of is the impact to their own mental health, since they often use self-loathing as a therapeutic way to bond. This causes a higher number of suicides amongst the incel community. Since they communicate almost solely on the internet and most of the time anonymously, it is difficult to pin incels down or predict their actions. Seeing if somebody is serious or just joking is something that cannot be spotted easily, and when people outside of the incel community talk about them, it's rarely positive. So we have heard about the negative impact that the incel community can have, but also some positive stories of people that got out of it. While we see that many incels post misogynistic content, we do not know if that content is genuine or satire. Incels want to better themselves, but find it difficult to get out of the rabbit holes that the community offers. They might not pose a real threat to others, but they do to themselves. If you want to know more about the jargon that the incel community uses, check out our infographic on Instagram, which is linked in the description below.